Do you have an extra 30 seconds to spare for your manifestation process? Because if you do, what I'm about to give you could literally save you days, weeks, or even months off of manifesting. Because this little thing makes it so that your manifestation is literally 10 times more effective by utilizing subconscious mind receptivity, by utilizing brain wavelengths that shut the ego down and allow for easier subconscious impression, which, as you can imagine, helps you impress the subconscious mind. So what I'm going to do today is impart my expertise on the what and the why to help you manifest better. Now, this is something I've used for myself and I provide to my clients, and every single person that uses it has found an exponential increase in their manifestation effectiveness and joy in doing so. So wait till the end to ensure that you don't miss anything. Drop me a like and a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. Work with me one-on-one, which is linked down below. And now let's get started. You're probably sitting there thinking, 30 seconds to save me days, weeks, and months sounds too good to be true. Honestly, it's not. It can actually do that for you. But what is it? Well, breath work. Now, before you click off the video and go, oh, I've heard that before, let me explain why and how to do it in the best way that I have personally found, so you can ensure that when you do it, it is gonna work, or at least gonna work as effectively as possible. Breath work is so incredibly impactful because of the effects that it has on our mind and our physiological state. When we are in the beta brain wavelength, the very wired, awake, ready to go, the ego is a lot more lifted. And what you'll find is when you're triggered, you can often go into a bit of a fight, flight, or freeze response because the sympathetic nervous system is engaged. So for simplicity purposes, and there are some nuances to consider here, but for the purposes of this video, beta brain wavelengths equals heightened ego, which equals heightened sympathetic response rate, which equals heightened rate of fight, flight, or freeze. Now, if your brain is thinking that you're in danger, especially when you're triggered in this regard, but if your brain thinks that you're in danger, do you think just going, everything is fine, is going to help? If you've got a tiger walking towards you, ready to maul you, do you think going, oh, I'm safe, is going to get it to be like, yeah, chill? No. So when you're stressed because your manifestation isn't going well, your mind doesn't realize it's not a genuine threat, so it still has that same degree of, no, I don't believe you. So if you're stressed that you don't have your person and you're saying, I have my person, I have my person, I have my person, do you think your mind is going to go, ah, yay? No, it doesn't. It fights you. This is why so many of you struggle to get out of spirals, feel more resistance when you try to do it during spirals, and so on. Because your mind is quite literally designed to get the fuck out of there. So when you're trying to say everything's fine, it goes, no, it's not. In essence. So this is why trying to manifest when you're in the beta brainwave length, if you're triggered specifically, can be a lot more difficult. Now, let's say that you're not triggered. What's the benefit of breath work then? We'll take into consideration the first part of my little mini equation. Beta brainwave length equals heightened ego being active. The ego is attached to this 3D reality. It utilizes this 3D reality to say, yes, that's good, no, that's bad. So if the ego is heightened, and you're saying, I have something that it sees in this 3D reality you don't have, you may find some resistance creeping in. You may find a little bit more difficulty impressing in that situation, which is why it gets in the way. So the breath work comes in handy because beta brainwave equals heightened ego, which equals heightened sympathetic nervous system, which equals heightened fight, flight, or freeze, for simplicity purposes of this explanation. Alpha brainwave state is a brainwave state that pretty much is the opposite. Alpha brainwave state is associated with a lessened ego because you're in a more calm, relaxed, peaceful state, which is associated with parasympathetic nervous system, which is associated with rest and digest. By slowing the breathing down, by getting deep and deliberate breaths in, you engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows you to enter better states. When the ego has lessened and the state that you're in allows for the subconscious mind to be more receptive, it does basically the opposite of the two things of what I just gave you. It stops your mind from kicking back so much because the ego has lessened, but it also allows for the subconscious mind to be more receptive to what you are feeding it. Take the beta brainwave length like trying to shove a parcel through a letterbox. Yeah, sometimes you may get it through if it's a small parcel or a letter, but if it's a trike, that's not going through a letterbox. Whereas the parasympathetic nervous system state, the alpha brainwave state, and I use these two because these are the conscious ones. Obviously, if you can get into theta, if you're in theta or delta, the subconscious mind is basically open. But as far as conscious mind, as far as doing it with your manifestation process, beta and alpha are kind of the two that you may find yourself working between. But the beta is like trying to shove a parcel through a letterbox. Some things will go through if they're small enough, some won't. If they're big, you've got a little resistance, you're spiraling and so on. And the alpha brainwave state is like blowing a hole in the door with a shotgun and then chucking it in, for want of a better term. So, why does this benefit? Well, if you take 30 seconds out before you do your manifestation, oh, my light died, to do some deep and deliberate breathing, you are quite literally going to open up the subconscious mind's receptivity, blow a hole. Oh, my apologies, just going to get real close to the camera for a second. Blow a hole in the door, allowing you to impress it easier. Any resistance will lessen. Any ego fight back will lessen. Spirals, if you're in them, will be easier to come out of, and the subconscious mind will be more receptive for the new story. So even taking 30 seconds to just do some deep and deliberate breathing before your manifestation makes it so that you'll have less kickback and you'll have easier impression. Which when it comes to dominant state, just logically put, don't you think that that means that it will be easier to manifest, thus making it take less time? Sooner impression means sooner actualization. So how do we do it? Well, there are a multitude of different breathwork methods out there. There's the Wim Hof method. There's the Miyamati Musashi method. I don't know what that method's actually called. I just know that he used to do it. There's loads. But for me, what I found to be most effective without making myself feel lightheaded or taking too long is a 4-second inhale through the nose, hold for 2 seconds, 8-second exhale as though you're blowing out of a straw. So for 8 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, rinse and repeat. When breathing in, through the nose, fill the belly, then the chest, then the clavicle. And when you're breathing out, whatever way is comfortable. I found it doesn't really make a difference whether I breathe out through the belly or the chest first or whatever. But rinse and repeat this for literally 30 seconds. If you're spiraling, you may need a little bit longer depending on the intensity of the spiral. Play that by ear. But if you're just going, time to do some manifestation work, take 30 seconds. You get the point. I gave a mini demonstration, but I feel like you probably didn't need it. I probably just looked a bit goofy then. But you get the premise. And even just from doing that one thing, I do feel a little bit calmer. I feel a little bit more, like a fairy. Jesus. But you get the premise. You get the idea. Do this first. And no exaggeration, this will drastically improve your manifestation process. It really will, because you're quite literally putting yourself in a physiological state that is better for manifestation. If you can abide by the idea that SATS is perfect because it gets you into the theta brainwave length, which, yeah, then you can at least accept that this is exceptionally good because it gets you into the alpha one. So put this into practice, give it a go. If you do need any help on a one-to-one basis, if you want to be successful like the other people that I've worked with before you and like the hundreds of people that I'll work with after you, check out my website. I've got video calls, phone calls, and emails available. On the membership, I have over 100 exclusive videos, some of which are presentations over an hour long, and go check them out. The memberships also come with free products and discounts on everything, including the services. Or if you want full in-depth self-study courses, I have the full Manifest Your Specific Person one, the full self-concept one, and the full Beating Anxiety and Overthinking one. Or if you want all of that and more, including extra courses, early access on new courses, every product and thing for free, bigger discounts, private Telegram group, and more, there is the Academy available. And Katie has also decided that she wants to start doing tarot readings again. So if you're interested in those, they are available on the shop as well. But thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.